So I tell people that I'm legally blind and hard of hearing, and they're like, cool. But then I tell people that I'm a DJ, and it blows their mind. They're like, how? Hello everyone, this is Josh with the EnVision vlog, back with another video. And for those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Josh. I'm legally blind and hard of hearing, and this is my channel, the EnVision vlog, where we seek to envision a new perspective on disability through education, entertainment, as well as experience. That is what we do here, and today I am hopefully going to give you guys a different perspective on how I, as a deafblind person, have managed to continue DJing for several years. Because when you tell people that you're legally blind and hard of hearing, and then they see that you do something that not a lot of people who are blind and or hard of hearing do, it brings about levels of curiosity. So today I'm going to address 3 areas of DJing that a lot of people get a little confused by, and hopefully bring to light a little bit about how I self-accommodate. Before we jump into the video, give me a thumbs up to please the YouTube algorithm, and then also subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And let's get started with curiosity and question number 1, transportation. So I've never been an in-house DJ for any sort of venue. All of my DJing that I've ever done has always been mobile. I travel to different places and I do my sets there. I've done weddings, I've done parties, I've done kindergarten graduations, corporate events, military balls, proms, formals, you name it. Chances are I have DJed at that event in some form of capacity. So with all of these events occurring all over the place, in order for me to get to them, I just either hire a driver, or if I have a family member or my wife who is willing to drive, they're the ones who take the wheel. But most people are always curious as to how I get and travel to these events. And one of the ways that I do this is I just hire a driver. And yes, I actually do hire a driver. They do get paid for their job and their time of what they do when they work with me. Typically, whenever I sign a contract to an event, I then send out text messages to people who have driven for me in the past, and I'm like, hey, you want to make some extra money this weekend? Let me know, and then we will basically move forward with making sure that they have their schedule cleared to take me to the event, so that way we can do the event successfully. That's pretty much how the driving portion works. They drive me to and they drive me from the gig. And along with that, they also assist with other parts throughout the event that I will address further on in the video. But nevertheless, let's get to number 2, equipment operation. How can you operate a mixer and a computer and do all this stuff whenever you can't see? Or how do you hear the music and all this kind of stuff whenever you can't hear that well? I am glad you asked. So for my mixer, I actually use a Tractor Control S4. It is a mixer that's got a lot of pretty lights. And these lights are part of the key to help me operating it. The reason this is important is because whenever I'm in a dark room, I can see sources of light, but I may not be able to see objects that are illuminated by the source. So whenever I look at my mixer and I see all the different colors and buttons and stuff, I can see the source of light that the mixer is putting out, and therefore I know what to press. Another way I'm able to operate this mixer extremely well is that I've been doing this for a really long time. You ever hear people talk about how they've done something for so long they can do it with their eyes closed? Well, guess what? That's kind of how I am with my mixer. Even in dimly lit areas, I typically know what to press in order to make it operate the way I need it to. It's just the same as someone who's able to type on a keyboard without looking at the keypad. Now this brings up the other question, my computer. It is no secret that I am a fan of Apple products. I like the iPhone. I prefer the use of Mac computers and laptops over any sort of PC. And the main reason that I gravitate towards these devices is because I feel that their accessibility features are leaps and bounds above the competition. With that being said, I have a MacBook that I use specifically for DJing, and I have customized all the accessibility settings that allows me to see it in the best way possible. And even when it comes to the idea of mixing songs back and forth and things like that, once again, I can see my computer because I have set it up the way that I want it to, but also I'm able to feel around on the mixer and run it basically with my eyes closed. And even when it comes into mixing, the program that I use does a really, really good job of allowing me to see the variances in bass as well as snare frequencies. So for example, if I look and I'm mixing a song and I see that there are certain colors that represent, kick drums and bass tones versus snare drums, I can line those up, and then that will actually allow me to line up songs well enough to where I can mix them up. Although I shouldn't say mix them up, that makes it sound bad. Mix them seamlessly. But that is how I handle the equipment side of DJing. And now, most jobs, DJing included, while there is that whole technical equipment aspect of it, there is also the side that involves interacting with the people and the public. And just like any other job that is out there, DJing is no different. Which leads me to number 3, audience interaction. That 3 was sort of weird. Number 3, DJing to me is more than just getting up there and mixing songs back and forth and that sort of stuff. There is the performance element of interacting with your audience as well as people who come and take requests and things of that nature. This is arguably the one area that my disability complicates the most. First, in understanding who all's out on the dance floor, how many people and what they're doing. Remember, I can see sources of light, but once that light casts out, a lot of times I can't always see what's out there in front of me. And so in many cases, I'm DJing and I have no idea who's out there on the dance floor. This is a lot of times where my assistant comes into play. Just a simple thing such as, hey, how many people are out there? What are they doing? Are they dancing or just standing around? This allows me to gauge how well I am working with the audience in terms of the songs I am playing, and then helps me plan my next move. Another way that I gauge what's going on in the audience is the simple make some noise test. You just lower the music, get into the microphone, and say, audience, make some noise. Low amount of noise that I can hear over the music? Probably low amount of people, or they're not really into it. High amount of noise and they're going absolutely bananas. Hey, I'm doing a good job and I need to keep doing what I'm doing. Then there's the other part of interacting with the audience. Request. In order to give my clients the best experience possible, I always want to try my best to fulfill any request for music that they have. One of the first things that I always do is I put into my DJ contracts that, do you have a list of, 20 to 30 songs that you would like for me to pull from? And of these 20 to 30 songs, which ones are like they must play? This also helps me gauge a little bit about what type of music the people at the event may like and kind of how I should tailor my DJing style to meet their needs. But let's say someone comes up to me and they start asking for a song. What do I do if A, I can't see them that well, and B, I can't hear them that well? Enter the assistant. So typically that is one of the jobs that my assistant typically holds, is to be the person who takes requests. They interact with people while I do all of the mixing and the lights and all that good stuff. They take requests, they write it down on their phone, and then, they just basically hold the phone up and they show it to me, and then that way I know what song to drop in next to see if we've got it. And for whatever reason, let's say my assistant is not there. Maybe they went to the bathroom, maybe they went to get some food, maybe they went to get us some water. Whatever reason my assistant is not there, I will set my hearing aid to reduce background noise to speech, so that way I can better hear people who come up and talk to me. Ideally, this is not something that I like to do. My hearing aids actually have a function where I can set different programs based on my environments. I have a universal, which is like for an everyday interaction. I have a music setting, which opens the hearing aid capabilities wide up to take in a larger range of like sounds and things like that. So it's really good when I'm DJing because I can hear the full range of sounds. And then I also have a background noise settings, so that way it kind of takes away some of the range of sounds and then focuses mainly on speech. One of the reasons I typically don't leave it on that background setting is because I want to be able to leave it on the music setting so I can hear the full range of sound and do the best job that I can. You know, now that I think about it, I should probably do an entire video on my hearing aids. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to see that video. But that is going to do it for this video today. So I hope that you guys have really gained a new perspective and sort of seeing about how I self-accommodate when I have to travel around and DJ as a deafblind person. Just out here spreading the notion that people with disabilities, whether it's through self-accommodations or accommodations in general, can lead normal lives. But that is going to do it for the video today. My name is Josh. This is the EnVision vlog. Signing off.